Hi, everyone. I am Ashley Gatewood, the Communications and Marketing Director at CFRE International. And today I am speaking with Michelle Hunt. She is a CFRE based in New Zealand, and she earned the credential in 2022. Michelle is currently the Center Manager at the Cancer Society Nelson Tasman, and we're going to have a quick chat today about the CFRE and Michelle's experience with it. So thank you so much for being here today, Michelle.
Sure, lovely to meet you.
So where were you in your career at the point that you decided to pursue your CFRE, and what made it feel like the right time?
Probably, I guess I was in my professional development session, and we had this conversation about, like New Zealand has one of the highest amount of charities per population in the world, I think. But you actually, and I said, oh, but you don't, it's funny how you don't need any qualifications for that. And we're like, oh, my supervisor said, oh, is there any qualifications you could get? And I'm like, I've got no idea because, you just sort of do, I guess, got a marketing degree and accounting and all that sort of stuff. But I never really looked, so I started looking into it. And that's where I came across CFRE. I talked to somebody else and they're like, oh, that takes years to do. And there's only like a handful in New Zealand. It's way too hard. And I'm like, okay. And I sort of like a challenge. And I always like to keep learning. I'm always studying something. So I sort of looked into it, and I sort of went onto the website and I sort of started filling in the application form because that doesn't cost you anything, just to see where I sat. And I guess what came up was that the education points, because I hadn't done any papers in fundraising, and I was like, and so then I started. So it was a journey, because then I started looking on the New Zealand fundraising site, and there was none that they were offering at the time. I guess it was also COVID, so I guess we were at home and had more time to do ourselves. And so then I signed up with the Australian Fundraising Institute. They actually had online, because of COVID, I guess it's a silver lining, they had some papers on there. So I enrolled on those, and that was the amount of points that I needed to push me over for those education points, because actually I found that the hardest thing to obtain in New Zealand, I guess, and I guess it was over those times of COVID, there's no conferences, and so I just found that the most challenging. But then it was really, once again, I love studying, so I did that course online through Australia Institute, and then through that I was then able to join the Australian study groups online and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it's and then sort of it snowballed from there. And then I did the qualifications, and then I sort of paused, and I'm like, do I, yeah. And then it was a big commitment of then studying for the exam, and then sitting the exam. And so I sort of took a few months deciding whether that's what was I going to jump in. And I decided why not, and my board supported me. And,
Oh, that's great.
and paid for helped me sit the exam. So I was like, why not? So it was, because they knew that I was putting the time and energy into study for it, and that I'd already been studying for it. And it's a credential that also is good for the organisation as well.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, it sounds like you are definitely a lifelong learner indeed.
Still learning.
And that is a good reminder that you give as well, that if people are members of the Fundraising Institute of New Zealand, that the Fundraising Institute Australia has very kindly made their online CFRE study group available to Fundraising Institute New Zealand members at no cost. So that's excellent to hear that you were able to take advantage of that. And when you were earning these education points through the Fundraising Institute Australia courses, how long did it take you to earn the ones that you needed to hit that 80-point education requirement?
About 8 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah,
And do you know how many
12
points it
months.
was that you earned in that period?
Um, so I think, my degree, university degrees in the past counted for a bit, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it might have been 20 or 30 points. I think that's what I was short, so that's what I was looking. I did a couple of webinars and things like that, but yeah, I just needed that big chunk to count. Yeah.
And it's excellent to hear you say that because a lot of people think, oh my gosh, it's going to take forever and ever and ever for me to earn these. But you are the proof that if you're diligent and you take 8 months and you put the effort in and you look for the good education, that it can absolutely be achieved where you earn a big stack of those points in under a year.
Yeah,
So that's great to hear.
I just had to do a certificate in fundraising that the Australian Institute runs, and because it's actually fun because it's what you do in real life without
Yeah.
and so I actually found it enjoyable and really fun because you're actually and it's easy because you're putting your real life situations into your assignments. And so and so it was actually easy and enjoyable because you're actually, oh yeah, this is what I do, and you put that into your assignments and your studies. So I found it enjoyable.
Well, that's great to hear because sometimes people think, oh, this is going to be so painful and it's going to take up all my free time. And I try to tell people it is an investment that you're making in yourself that comes back to you manyfold. And a lot of people tell us that they're really surprised that they learned so much while studying that they could then turn around and start using in their job even before they sat for the exam.
Oh,
So,
exactly. Yeah, and so one of the papers is about sponsorship, corporate sponsorships, and then I developed a corporate sponsorship program for locally, and then so as I say, you're able to learn, or just not even learn, you sort of know it in the back of your head, but it actually gives you like, yeah, I'm going to try that, and you can roll it out in real life as well, and vice versa.
very good, very good. All right, and so we are at our third and final question, which is I know you've had the CFRE 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. So, in that time period, are there any benefits that you've experienced to your fundraising practice in that time?
I think out of anything for me, it's given me not the confidence, but I guess knowing that it seems strange to say that I'm a fundraiser, like I'm a certified, qualified fundraiser, and I'm always, you always know these things in practice, but it's lovely. I like having the theory and the certificate behind me and whatever I do. But it's also given me that credibility that also I've then been asked by other local community groups to help help them fundraise and apply for grants and all that sort of stuff. So it sort of helps your reputation, your credentials. So yeah, it gives you the confidence to know that you think you know your stuff, but then it's quite nice to have the piece of paper as well.
Yeah, it's very validating.
So you're investing, you're investing in the profession, you're investing in yourself, and also it kept me accountable, and it still does keep me accountable. So then you think, oh, sweet, got the qualification, but it is actually continuing your education. So yeah, no, there's a sign up for, and therefore it makes me sign up for new webinars, new talks. So you're always learning because we know we're in a changing environment all the time, and there's always something we can learn. And I love there's it's a whole community that I didn't know really was there to support you in the wider world because you get so used to working in your line of work for your organisation. But yeah, it's lovely to contact, and I love the open forum online, the CFRE forum. So it's very
Yeah.
international, mainly American, but it's great because like you think, oh, it's just the people that ask questions. It comes up on my email feed every day, and I just love looking at that, just what other people are doing around the world. I was like, oh, that's a good idea, or oh, maybe we could do that. Um, so just little things like that on a daily basis as well. I actually find really supportive and challenging sometimes, which is great.
Hmm. Wonderful. Well, I'm so glad to hear that it's been a positive experience for you and that you are part of a growing number of CFREs in New Zealand. And I'm so glad that you've earned this credential. It was great to catch up with you today, Michelle, and I look forward to being in touch.
Lovely. Thank you, Ashley.
Thanks.